Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the dreaded D-Rose report. Yep, it's dark again. Busy day today. Alright, last night's Raw Russian Roulette edition of WWE Monday Night Raw scored a 3.0 with a rating of 4.3.5 million viewers. The show did hours of 2.98 and 3.30. In comparison, Monday Night Football doubleheader did a 10.9 for the first game and a second game of doing a 8.82. Anyway, the latest on Chris Jericho is a lot of people within WWE still kind of unsure of what he's going to be doing when his contract expires at the end of the month. And apparently Jericho, he's not talking to anybody about his plans either the referees, wrestlers, or even people in the office. Nobody knows. Nothing's set in stone for the 2011 Hall of Fame ceremony in Atlanta. But since it's being held in Atlanta, obvious pushes for former WCW stars Ron Simmons, Arn Anderson, or a couple of the people they want to put in there. WWE is open, by the way, to Lex Luger and Sting being inducted. If Sting doesn't sign with TNA for another year, which I haven't heard any more on that either. He does year to year. And there's talk of putting Arn Anderson in the Hall of Fame with the Four Horsemen group consisting of Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard. Jim Ross, he's been pushing for Danny Hodge to be inducted in there as well. Melina's opponent in the Women's and Divas titled unification match in Sunday's Night of Champions pay-per-view will be Michelle McCool. And it's believed that WWE officials held a conference earlier this afternoon discussing Matt Hardy's future with the company. No word on yet what's going to happen. The feeling is that WWE will keep Hardy on the roster as long as he agrees with some of the rules and stipulations from the company. Word is that a lot of the people backstage are upset with Hardy and his recent actions, and some of the talent wants him to be released, or at least think he should be released. Creative Booking has apparently told Hardy that they would no longer be booking him in the foreseeable future either. So we may have seen the last of him for a while, unless this is all some kind of story. Alright, after doing away with the unified tag titles a few weeks ago, WWE is now wanting to make the belts more important and create more tag teams to contend with the titles. Did I say that? That they want now to push tag team champions? Or news to me. Well, anyway, remember we had a midget edition there for a while, and I think it lasted 2 or 3 weeks. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre will face the Hart Dynasty in a non-title match at this week's Friday Night SmackDown, but it's not confirmed yet if they're going to get a title shot at Night of Champions. And it's possible WWE may add the match to that at the last minute pay-per-view. There's been discussion in the past week about building the tag team titles up, and the idea is to make a few regular teams to both Raw and SmackDown, so the champion is going to have several credible challengers. Hey, with all that Nexus stuff, Part 1 and Part 2, they've got a lot of tag teams they can make out of that and do, maneuvering around and have them go against each other. Alright, one idea is to do a Survivor Series style at a pay-per-view in November with the tag teams from both brands. The matches shouldn't necessarily be a Raw versus SmackDown match, but just heel versus face. The old way, bad versus good. Alright, it says a little bit of an update on Triple H, his new job and Royal Rumble news, and some, anyway, current plan is for Royal Rumble 2011 pay-per-view is going to be taking place January 30th at Kansas City, and WWE is getting ready for several new developmental stars as some talent were recently sent to Pittsburgh, PA for complete physicals and drug testing. If they pass, they will receive developmental deals. WWE is actively working on and with modeling agency to recruit new divas and help build up their division. Former Playboy model Tiffany Shelby was recently booked by the company in Las Vegas. And as noted before, Triple H, he's recently got appointed to the executive position in WWE, working under Vince McMahon on the creative side of things. Part of Triple H's new job is that he receives 5,000 shares of stock. Well, that's a job well done. It's worth $72,000. Should have been worth more than that. Well, if they didn't have the PG movies going on and the PG rating on TV and wrestling matches, that would be worth a lot more money. I hate to say it. WWE's been tossing around the idea of having Sheamus versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 27 of all things in a title unification match. This is expected to change between now and November, no doubt, when officials hope to have some WrestleMania main events planned. By the way, noteworthy kind of this week, WWE wants to have top matches planned by then. Another match being discussed is John Cena taking on The Miz. Regarding Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, the Money in the Bank pay-per-view buy rate came in this year. It got them talking about whether or not to keep the match at WrestleMania. Alright, as noted before, some of the stars being discussed for the heel versus baby face turns. Some names being considered are Jack Swagger, MVP, Kofi Kingston, R-Truth. You think that's a good deal to have them change places, change spaces? Be different. Word is Randy Orton versus Sheamus for the WWE Tag Title, and Wade Barrett versus John Cena is being advertised for the next Raw edition in Indianapolis the night after Night of Champions. Ezekiel Jackson, he made his return to the ring before last night's Raw in a dark match, defeating Zack Ryder. Jackson reportedly did well in his first match back and impressed some of the officials backstage who were watching closely. He's expected he's going to be returning to the Raw roster full-time soon. As noted before, Walmart's going to be releasing WWE DVD on September 28th, titled Legendary Moments. The DVD is going to be 60 minutes, retails for $10, and is hosted by John Cena. And apparently Cena picked up the Legendary Moments on DVD as a tagline, which reads, includes the legendary moments and matches that define WWE as chosen by the co-host, or the host. Not chosen by us. Anyway, Awesome Kong, she had injured her back a few weeks ago and has been working independent shows hurt, and she probably needs a breast reduction. That'd help your back. Whew. She was a monster. The newest face in WWE Raw, as well as The Apprentice to The Miz, Riley, will take place the second generation WWE developmental star Bo Rotundo. This Saturday evening at Rotundo's home in Brookville, Florida. There will be no ordinary matchup. This match is going to be the first ever steel cage match that they're going to be having in the WWE developmental history of FCW. And at press time, Brookville's Bo Rotundo stated the people of Brookville are going to see something they've never seen before, and I'm lucky to be a part of it. I got a little something to tell you here at the end of this. Also at press time, Steve Kearns, FCW president, there's a long storied tradition of steel cage matches in our business. Part of it makes the match so special that we don't really see all of it at first. Wrestlers inside this huge cage risk their careers and their well-being. The fans get excited over their suspense surrounding the environment of the steel cage. Having been quite a few steel cage matches myself, he says, there's feeling that you get something memorable inside of it. Now catch this. It says the huge main event, along with other big matches featuring the stars of Nexus 1, 2, and 3, and future stars. How can they have, unless they have the women in there? Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm going to say they wouldn't be having a Nexus 2 going against Nexus 3. Oh, by the way, there's going to be a $100,000 purse, which I don't carry purses, so I can carry anything. I care less about that. On TNA's flagship program, the TNA Impact is going to be a feature. $100,000 Battle Royal Gauntlet main event set up by Dixie Carter. And it's going to feature the regular bunch, but it's going to be on their live event. I'm looking for the date now, October 7th. So please make a note of it. Let's see who's going to win the $100,000 purse. I think it'd look nice, wouldn't you? I gotta go.